Hello, YouTube. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all of that. This video is being filmed right before Christmas, a couple days before Christmas, and should hopefully be uploaded after Christmas. So Happy New Year. I hope everyone is having a wonderful holiday. I have a week off of work. I'm very excited. I'm also very excited because I have a lot of new manga. As you can tell by the title of the video, I have about 70 new volumes of manga and then a bunch of books and other stuff that I'm going to show you guys because those are the only videos I upload on my channel now, apparently. I was going to say something else. It's really dark in my room. I will try to make this video as quick as possible. First, I'm going to go through all the non-manga stuff because I feel like that's not as interesting. But here we go. So I got this Exploding Kitties card game. This is I think this was like a Kickstarter thing. The reason I bought this is I had played this with my friend. We were doing a Zoom call, or we were using the Facebook video call thing, and we were waiting for our third friend, and he never showed up, and we were messing around, and we were playing this game called Exploding Kitties, whatever, online, or Facebook had a digital version, and we were playing it, and we thought it was really, really funny, and I happened to be at a CVS. I was getting another COVID shot, another COVID booster, and I was waiting around for the 15 minutes afterwards, and I saw this, and I bought it. Hopefully, I will be hanging out with some of my friends over this holiday break, and I will force them to play this game with me. And then after I bought that, I should have just biked home, but instead I went into the GameStop across the street, and I bought Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. I still have yet to beat Pokemon Shield, I think it is. I think Pokemon Shield is the one I have. And I don't know how long that game's been out, how long I've had it, but I've just been really, really slow with it. And I don't know, I'm not super into video games. Pokemon's the only game I play. I've never played the original 4th gen games. I've always thought that the 4th gen Pokemon were really, really cool, but I still ended up buying this. This might be a waste of money, and this is going to end up sitting around until I finish Pokemon Shield. I'm going to make sure I finish that before I start this. And then maybe I'll get the Arceus game. Maybe I'll get there's a new game out, Violet, or I don't even know. But I also got this little Cyndaquil from the GameStop. So after my COVID vaccine, I bought the Exploding Kitties card game. I bought all 3 of these things, even though I told myself I would not spend any more money. But whatever. So I'm just going to leave Cyndaquil right here for the remainder of this video. So then I got a bunch of other books, just regular novels. First one is this. What's it called? The Lost Hero. This is by the guy who did the Percy Jackson series. I got this at my local library. I've read the Percy Jackson series. I've heard cool things about this, and this was only 50 cents, so I figured I should try it. And trying to decide if I want to reread Percy Jackson before I hop into this book. My friend said I don't have to, but I don't know. I'll show people the back in case they want to pause the video and read it. I highly recommend the Percy Jackson series. I think this is sort of like a sequel or a thematic sequel to it. Then the other book I got from my local library was Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. I read the Da Vinci Code. Just notice this is a large print book, but this is like 50 cents, $1. So I've read the Da Vinci Code, and I've heard that his books are kind of the same, and you should read the Da Vinci Code and then Angels and Demons, and then you can just kind of stop. I want to reread the Da Vinci Code, but, I don't know. I've heard this was kind of a good book, so I got it. Then the other books I got, these all came from, my local CVS. I was in CVS. I don't know what I was doing there, and I bought these little paperback novels. I don't know anything about this. I read the back. It it seemed kind of interesting. As you can tell, I just kind of buy books. And then I also got 2 Stephen King books, also from CVS, paperback novels from CVS. I was just surprised that they had a well-known author like Stephen King there. I've never read any Stephen King books, so I figured maybe these would be good. I don't know anything about Stephen King. I would say I don't really like horror, but I figured I would give it a try. So now that that's out of the way and onto the manga, I also want to say I have something really special for the end of this video. I probably should have said that up front, but whatever. So I hope you stick around for the very end of this video. So anyway, this manga started out as I was buying it for my birthday. I was given, like an Amazon gift card or something, and I just kind of kept buying stuff. And then as the holidays haven't been approaching, I've been getting, little gift cards and little gifts. So I've just kept buying stuff, and I'm going to try and make it in my New Year's resolution to not buy any more manga, or at least finish reading my huge stockpile before I buy more, because it's getting a little bit ridiculous. But okay, so to start it off with, I got a bunch of One Piece right here. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, stupid glare, and 38. There's not too much to talk about with One Piece. I'm slowly collecting it as I don't know, every now and then if I'm buying something from Amazon, I will throw one volume of manga in of one of my many ongoing series that I need to buy more books of. I'm not in that big of a hurry to collect all of One Piece. I don't think it's going out of print anytime soon. Then Record of Ragnarok Volume 3. I still haven't finished. This glare is going to be driving me crazy. I still haven't finished Volume 2 yet. I read Volume 1. I really liked it. Not too much to say here. I think a lot of people are reading Record of Ragnarok. I'm excited to keep going with this series. And this volume literally came in today. Monster Perfect Edition Volume 3. I've had the first 2 volumes of Monster for a long time, and I was surprised that I was able to get this volume for cover price. I just assumed that because these books are so old that I would have been paying a lot of money for them. There's one volume later in this haul that I paid an absurd amount of money for, but I will get to that when I get to it. But yeah, as soon as I bought this, I realized I need to buy the rest of Monster. It's only 9 volumes, only 9 more of these volumes. Hopefully, maybe there's one that's just crazy expensive. But yeah, Monster's just fantastic. Speaking of fantastic series, I got some more Berserk. 5, 6, and 7. 5, 6, and 7. I'm slowly reading Berserk. Berserk is one of those series that I actually didn't start really reading it until after Mira's death, unfortunately. So that makes me kind of sad. But again, this is also one of those series where if I'm buying something, I will just throw another volume into my cart. I already have the first 4 volumes. I'm looking forward to reading these, and obviously Berserk is good. Then I have Eyes, Volume 3. In my last video, or last haul video from New York Comic Con, I showed that I bought a bunch of Eyes volumes. I got basically every volume except 3, 9, and 15. So I bought 3. and I wanted to see the prices of volumes 9 and 15, and both of those volumes are like $100 to $200. They're insanely expensive, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. I haven't read this series at all. I've read like the first volume, but that was a while ago. So who knows? I don't know if this is going to get a reprint. I don't keep track of that sort of stuff. Next, I got a series that I'm very excited about, and I've been looking forward to this series being in print for so long, and that is Blue Box Volume 1. This is probably my favorite series in Shonen Jump right now. I know One Piece is still in Jump, but I've just been really enjoying Blue Box. Like every single week when I read the new chapters of the various series, this is the one I'm most excited to read. I can't express just how much I love this series. I love the art. I love the story. It's so wholesome, and I think that's one of the things I really enjoy about it. Also, my copy has a sort of a printing error. You can see the spine pictures a little bit off. I just gave people the middle finger. I didn't mean to do that. There's a little bit of a printing error right there, but I honestly don't really care. I'm just so happy to have this. I think the next volume, Volume 2 is coming out in January, so even though I said I won't buy any more volumes, I might pick it up anyway. I don't want to get into a situation where years later I'm trying to buy the volumes and they're all really expensive and out of print. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Then I got a Yakushi Triangle Volume 1. For anyone who watches my haul videos, thank you. You might know that I bought the first 8 volumes in Japanese already, and as soon as I bought them, I found out that it was getting an English release. So I have 2 copies of Volume 1. I'm currently trying to learn Japanese, so maybe I can, read these volumes, the Japanese volume and the English volume, and learn Japanese words that way. I really love this series I really love this series. I love the art. It's by Kentaro Yabuki, who did Black Cat. He did To Love Ru. He's done a bunch of stuff. I think his art is fantastic. This is also a fan service series. I didn't mention that. For any of you who are wondering, the volumes are uncensored, but I can't show that stuff on YouTube. Not that I have a big enough channel for YouTube to care. So next up, I have some stuff by Togashi Sensei. I have Yu Yu Hakusho Volume 1 and Hunter x Hunter Volume 2. Cyndaquil's getting in the way here. So Yu Yu Hakusho, I've read this series. I've already read this series. I read it online. I forget how I read it. Maybe I got volumes from my local library or something. I really, really love this series. It's a classic series. And I don't know why I bought the first volume. I think I was just, buying random volumes. I didn't really have a plan. And this is one of those Italian prints. I've heard a lot of people complain about them and how these volumes are super, super thin. Sorry, Cyndaquil. How these volumes are super, super thin. I don't know. To me, this looks all right. I'm not too picky with my volumes. I don't consider myself a collector in that sense. I just want to be able to read the book. But a couple of these other volumes that I'm showing off are Italian prints, but I really can't tell the difference. This one is an Italian print, but it's really thin. So I've had Hunter x Hunter Volume 1, Hunter x Hunter, Hunter, however you pronounce it, for a long time. And I've read some. I don't know how far I got into it online, but I've read a decent bit. And I don't know, this came today, and I just sort of figured it was time to read a little bit more of the series. So I don't know when exactly or if I will get all of these volumes for their respective series, but, these are both Yu Yu Hakusho. I've read classic series. Hunter x Hunter, I need to at least read it online, and because I know it's really, really good, and even though it's on hiatus, it's off hiatus. There's still like 30 volumes worth of material that I can read and enjoy. Sakamoto Days, Volume 2. Not too much to talk about here. I think most people are aware of how good this series is. And the art is fantastic. The artist, Yuto Suzuki, the way like his art works, like the action scenes are just fantastic. I love it. I'm reading the series every single week. I should plan out what I'm going to say. Next up, I got Platinum End, Volume 5 and Volume 6. I don't care what people say. I've been enjoying this series. I think at this point I'm only on like Volume 3, but now I have a couple more volumes to read. I know it's over, I believe it's 14, 15 volumes. The art is just fantastic. I love Obata's art, and I tend to buy everything that Obata does because I just think his art is just fantastic. And from what I've read so far, I think this is a pretty good series. It's not as good as Death Note or anything, and it feels wrong to compare it to Death Note, but it is. But again, they both made this series has a lot of similarities to Death Note, and it's made by the same creators, so it's kind of an obvious comparison. But I don't know. I love it. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. Then I got Volume 8 of Shokugeki no Soma. There are lots of sort of random volumes here in this haul, and the reason is I was trying to, I was looking at my collection. I was like, okay, what series do I need to continue, as opposed to just buying volumes for new series, because I tend to just buy new series and then not finish the ones that I've already started collecting, and I didn't want to do that. So Food Wars, Shokugeki no Soma. I thought it was a fantastic series. I loved it when I was reading it as it was coming out in Jump, and I thought the ending sucked, but for the most part, it's a very solid series, and there are still more volumes out there of the quote-unquote good stuff that I can buy. So the next series is a complete series, Genkaku Picasso. This is Volume 1. Volume 2. And the final volume, Volume 3. I highly recommend this series. I've read it before. It's about a kid who's really, really good at art, or he's a fantastic artist, and he ends up basically like his drawings sort of reveal what is, I don't know if you're going to be able to read that, but he ends up being able to see like what's wrong with a person, or like he can see their deepest, darkest like fears and concerns, and he will draw a picture of that, and then he will go inside of said drawing, and he'll be trying to figure out what is going on with the person, like what is going on with their psyche. And it's such a fun series. What's it called? The art is fantastic. I love the art here. This is him inside one of the pictures that he drew. The final volume is fantastic. There is a like sort of a twist, or the way everything wraps up together is, I don't remember it, but I just remember being amazed when I read this for the first time. So I'm super excited to have these, and this might be one of the first ones I read since it's just so short and I can do it pretty quickly. I say that, but I probably won't read it for a while. Then I have some Japanese books. Time Paradox Ghostwriter. Some people, if you're reading Weekly Shonen Jump, you might remember this series. I don't know when this came out. This is a complete series. This came out fairly recently in Shonen Jump, like a year or two ago, and it was canceled after 2 volumes. And I don't think this will ever get a physical release in English, even though it should. it's about this boy right here. I forget his name, but basically he's a struggling manga artist, and then his microwave spits out Shonen Jump magazines from the future, and he starts to draw the manga that's in that magazine. And so he's now sort of creating this smash hit manga that was from like 10 years in the future. And the story just goes from there. It's really, really, really cool. At some times kind of complex, but I wish I had better adjectives to describe it. But just at the time it was coming out in the magazine, it was my favorite thing to read. And I think many other people felt that way. It's kind of a shame that it only lasted two volumes, but I'm happy to have it. Hopefully my Japanese will be good one day and I can, read it without looking up translations online. Okay, what am I doing next? Okay, so then we have JoJo. This is the end of part 2, volume 3, and volume 4. As I said, the end of part 2, end of battle tendency. So now I have all of part 1 and all of part 2. And I have a couple volumes of part 3, and I have the first volume of part 4. I've read all the way through part 3. I need to start part 4 at some point. But now I can go back and read part 2. I keep hitting the microphone. I mean, I don't need to say this, but Araki's art is just fantastic. Everyone knows that. I don't really remember the ending of part 2, so I'm excited to go back and read it. And again, it's all been said before, but these editions are so nice, and they look really great on the bookshelf, all lined up next to each other. Except they're heavy, and now my shelf is like slanted down. Okay, what are we going to do next? Let's move Cyndaquil. So now I have another Japanese series. This is a complete series, and it is called Toki wa Kitareri. The title's written across the top if anyone wants to try and read that. So this is by the same creator as History's Strongest Disciple, Kenichi. And it's a 13-volume series. I have all 13 volumes here. I've never read this series. This was a complete blind buy and possibly a really stupid decision to buy a Japanese manga that I can't read complete just without knowing anything about it. But I don't know. I kind of like fan service manga, and this seems to be in the same vein as Kenichi, an action fan service thing. I mean, as I say that, I showed that cover. Volume 10. On the inside flap of these volumes, like on the inside of the cover right here, they're basically pinup drawings, which I will not be showing people. And then this is the final volume. I guess I'll show some of the art inside here. The artist, I don't know his name, but his style doesn't seem to have changed since Kenichi. I'm very interested to see what this series is about. This is, I said what I said. So yeah, I don't know anything about this series, so completely blind buy. I wasn't a huge fan of Kenichi, but I'm a man of culture. What can I say? Okay, let's move these over here. Don't worry, there will be more cultured manga coming up. Then I also got Drifting Classroom, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. This is another manga series that I don't know anything about. I know the basic premise. I didn't read like a chapter or two before buying it. I just bought the whole series off of eBay. This is the complete series. This is a pretty old manga. Did I hold all these volumes upside down just now? I don't know. This is a pretty old manga from like the 70s, maybe maybe even earlier. But I like reading old manga, so I'm very excited to read this series. I like this sort of art style too. I posted a picture of this on a Reddit, and people were telling me that it's fantastic, so very excited to have it. These hardcover editions look fantastic too. Where are we going from here? Okay, so now we're going to move on to some Hayao Miyazaki stuff. This is his new manga called Shuna's Journey. I believe this came out in like the 80s, but they've just now published it in English. My stepmom actually sent me an email with some sort of like news article about, or like New York Times article about Miyazaki and about this manga. And she said in the email, I'm probably encouraging you to buy this, even though you have enough stuff, but just like, this seemed interesting. I haven't told her that I bought it yet. But yeah, I flipped through this a little bit. The art is absolutely beautiful. Glare. That's one of the things I love most about his movies. It's just the art style. Like, it's just so beautiful, and it's fantastic to look at. I can't wait to read that. Maybe that's what I'll read first. But speaking of Miyazaki, I got the art of Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind, and the art of Princess Mononoke. I already have the Spirited Away version of this book. I'm going to take my time and just, pour over all the drawings and pictures in this book. As I said, all his movies are fantastic. Sometimes I have problems with the plot. I can't think of anything specifically, but I just know there have been movies where I just have questions, or it's not the kind of movies or the kind of plot that I usually watch in movies. But the art more than makes up for it. Blech. Microphone's in the way. Microphone. But I think I'm going to go and rewatch these movies again. As I said, I have a little bit of a break from work because of the holidays, so maybe now's a good time to just watch some movies. Here's a bunch of concept drawings down here, and yeah, these books are absolutely fantastic. I've had the Spirited Away one for years. I really want to read the original Nausicaa manga that Hayao Miyazaki did. Yeah. So now that we've gotten, the cultured, or like the actual like legitimate culture of Miyazaki out of the way, we can move on to some more, as they say in the podcast, trash taste. I think this is all going to stay in. I don't want to edit this. Let's start with, this is Rosario Vampire 1-7. I know this is not as etchy as I was, making it sound like I was going to show. But we're going to start off nice and slow, nice and wholesome. I'm just speaking. I don't have any plans for this video. Okay, this is volume 5. I had a friend in college who was a big fan of this series, and he encouraged me to read it, both this series and the sequel, and I did. I absolutely loved it, and it's taken me till now, like, over 4 years later, to finally buy some of the volumes. I want to get the rest of the series, of course, because this is just, it's such a good series. I said before what I said about it being kind of an ecchi series, but even when you take that away, it's still just a good series with good characters, good action scenes. It's funny. The art is good. So there are plenty of like legitimate reasons to enjoy this series. I don't have to justify myself. Rosario Vampire is a great series. This series, I don't know why I bought this. This is Battle Club complete series 1 through 6. This is the problem. I saw someone on Reddit. I'm on like the manga collector subreddit all the time, and someone posted a picture of their collection or like a haul, and they had a bunch of these not suitable for work series, and I don't know why. This one caught my eye for some reason. I gave it a quick Google search. I didn't read any of the chapters, but then I found it on eBay for, I don't know, pretty cheap. I didn't spend too much on this. I don't really know what it's about. School for Hard Knocks has just received a makeover. There's a new kid, and he wants to become the big man on campus, blah, 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 blah. He arrives at the new school, and now he's whatever. And now he's in a judo club or a wrestling club. I don't know. Whatever. This is what I was reading. You can look at it. I'm kind of interested in reading this, both for the plot and for the plot. I used to make like actual intelligent videos. Now I just do this shit. I think the art style is kind of nice, but from what I've seen from flipping through these books, this is a weird series. Okay, next up is I got Triage X Volume 4. So earlier I said I paid an absurd amount of money for one volume. This is that one volume. This volume, you can find people asking for like $100, $200 for this. I paid $89 for this, and then counting shipping plus tax, I paid $100 to basically get this to my house. I haven't read it. So out of all the books that are here, this is the only one I've read in terms of like I've read this physical book. Yes, I've read Yu Yu Hakusho, but I have not opened that specific volume and read it. But I have read this one because I have the first 3 volumes of Triage X. I read those, and then I immediately went and bought volume 4. Or it was just on my mind, the fact that volume 4 and 5 were so expensive, and I just kept searching and searching, hoping I would find it for like cover price, which clearly is not going to happen. And then I don't know why one day I was like, fuck it, $89, that's much cheaper than the 100 plus people are asking for on eBay. I'm going to buy it. Haven't read it. It's not worth $89. Like this is cover price tops. B, I can sort of see why this one volume is expensive, why fans want this one volume or why they're charging a lot for it. I will admit I started reading the series. I started reading the series after reading High School of the Dead, because it's by the same creator. The artist who did High School of the Dead is the same creator as Triage X. And so I started reading it kind of for fan service reasons, but I do genuinely think this is kind of an interesting series. I think the action is cool. But but there is the reason why we're all reading this. Like, let's be honest. As cool as some of the parts are, like, it does rely a lot on fan service. I do like the art. I try not to read books purely for the fan service. There has to be something else in it for me. I feel like a lot of things I've said are just like contradicting each other throughout this entire video. So now, the last volume, or the last section of volumes, we have Yuna and the Haunted Hot Spring. So I've sort of divided this haul into normal manga that you wouldn't mind your parents seeing you read versus manga that, I don't know, maybe your parents would be fine for it. Fine for it. So I got volume 4. So I started, so I've read this entire series online, and I have the first 3 volumes. And then as I was buying manga with my various, for my birthday, which is at the end of October, I thought I'm going to get some more Yuna and the Haunted Hot Spring. As I said, I was looking at my collection being like, okay, what volumes do I need? So I bought these 4. And then the problem is I've started using Right Stuff. And Right Stuff will send me emails about sales. And clearly I just spend money on manga. So then I saw that they had a sale for volumes 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Like these 4 volumes were like half price or something. I think I paid like $30 for these. So without thinking, I just bought it. So now I have a gap in my Yuna and the Haunted Hot Spring collection between Volume 7 and Volume 11, but I guess there are worse problems to have in your life. I really do like Yuna and the Haunted Hot Spring. I think it's I thought it got a little weird in the end. Like it started I don't have no idea what happened in the end. Like it started trying to like get more I don't know, like there was some weird like plot or story about Yuna, and she was from a clan and she had all this special power, and I just wasn't paying enough attention. I liked the earlier stuff where it was just, episodic, cute adventures. And I don't know. So maybe once I go back and reread it, I will understand what the hell was happening in the series. And now that I have all of these volumes, I feel like I might as well get the entire series. It's like, I think a little over 20 volumes. Okay, so that is all of the manga. And then the final thing I have at the end of this video is I'm a huge fan of Mark Crilly. He is an American comic book artist. He did a series called Akiko, which some of you may know, but then he did Miki Falls, Brody's Ghost. I think his latest book is called My Last Summer of Cats. He's done a lot of basically like American manga art. Like a lot of his, Miki Falls, Brody's Ghost, they're in like a manga style, but he's an American, so it's sort of like American manga, so to speak. He has a very popular art YouTube channel with, a couple million subscribers. That's sort of where I got the inspiration for starting my channel. I don't really do the same content that he does. I don't really do how to draw videos in the way that he does. But I'm a huge fan of his, so I've been supporting him on Patreon. It's also been pretty cheap, so that's sort of why I went and did that. But as an aspiring artist myself, comic book artist myself, that's my excuse for buying all this manga. It's like, oh, I'm going to be a famous comic book artist. Like, this is just reference material. I need this for reference. But it's been really cool to be part of Mark Crilly's Patreon and see behind the scenes of his, of his books, and also kind of being able to talk to him a little bit. I try not to message him all the time, but he has like these free art giveaways on his Patreon. And I won one of his drawings, and this was a drawing that he featured in one of his videos. I'm very nervous about getting this out because I don't want to ruin it. So this was a free, like an original art giveaway, and I was lucky enough to win this piece of original art by Mark Crilly. And here's the drawing. He signed it. It's to Henry. I think this is a video about how to draw braids or something. I don't know what it is. I absolutely love this. This is one of the coolest things that I own, and I'm like so scared I'm going to ruin it right now. I need to get this framed. I've watched a lot of videos of manga artists. I forget what this video series was called, but like Shonen Jump did a thing with manga artists, and they would like draw a picture, some sort of like time-lapse drawing, and then they would show you their studio, and all like the Shueisha Shonen Jump popular artists did it. Ichiro Oda from One Piece, Kentaro Yabuki for To Lavru, the late what's the guy who drew Yu-Gi-Oh, Kazuki Takahashi, may he rest in peace. He did one of these videos. All of these artists, the artists for Nisekoi and all these artists, all these guys, they did it, and they would. So it was really cool for me as an artist to see their process. And this, it wasn't quite real time. It was kind of time lapsed. You can find some of these videos on YouTube. Oh, Jump and then RYU. You can search that on YouTube and you'll find a lot of these videos for like 40 minutes or so of the artist drawing one of their characters, but then it will show the artist's room, like the artist's studio. And even though they're talking in Japanese and these videos don't seem to have English subtitles, I just think it's really cool to see their studio and see, I don't know, even just like, how do they lay out their pencils? Like, where do they keep all their supplies? And a lot of artists, maybe it's just for the video, but they have like the volumes of their series out on their desk. Masashi Kishimoto of Naruto, he made one of these videos, and I assume they have all their volumes on the desks, on their assistants' desks, just so they can like reference, like, oh my god, what does Shikamaru look like? I need to draw him in this background panel. But anyway, this is a very long way of saying that in a lot of these artist studios, they have autographs from other artists. Like, I think the Japanese, they have like a poster board, or the way they will get autographs, based on what I've seen, is sort of like a little poster board, and the artist will draw a quick sketch of the character. So it's not just a signature, it's a picture and then a little, and then the name is sort of like an afterthought. And so artists will have these displayed around their studio. As far as I'm concerned, like, this is my first one of those. So that's kind of how I look at it. And I'd like to get it framed. I'd like to hang it up, and maybe in the future I'll meet some other artists, whether it's a manga artist, or whether it's, an American comic book artist, whether it's, Jim Lee. And I can get, other signed drawings. I just can't get. I'm so scared I'm gonna ruin this. I think this is beautiful, and seeing it up close, I'm surprised at how small the drawing is, how small the paper is. But just the level of craftsmanship that Mark really put into this is amazing. I'm kind of scared I'm like gonna like spit on it by accident or something. I need to put this away. So that is my video. That is my. Okay, I can't talk and do this. Okay, it's a little safe and sound. Okay, so that is my manga haul video. I hope you guys liked it. If you're playing a Generation 2 Pokemon game, choose Cyndaquil. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever other holidays are out there. Spend time with your family, eat some good food, read some manga. Happy New Year. I hope everyone had a great year. Hope next year is even better. Bye-bye. Bye.